Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh and this is your stimulus check update for the next stimulus package for Tuesday, February 16th. I hope everyone is off to a good and safe start to their Tuesday so far. In this video, I'll be discussing updates in regards to the current relief package and the third stimulus check. I'll also be discussing the $1,400 direct payments, how progressive and moderate Democrats plan to hammer out the final details of this package, and then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you would remember quickly, liking this video, give me a big thumbs up. It really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other viewers like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so with unemployment benefits set to lapse in less than 1 month for millions of Americans, pressure continues to build on Congress to get this reconciliation package passed. Also, considering they'll really need to get this passed by March 7th to avoid a lapse, which is 1 week before they expire on the 14th, they have even less time. Over the next few weeks, we're really going to see how united the Democratic Party is, as the progressive and moderate Democrats will have to put aside their differences to get this thing done. If they don't, this thing could end up getting delayed for months, just like the past one did, and quite frankly, Democrats will only be able to blame themselves, considering they have an opportunity here to pass this solely along party lines. Now, both chambers of Congress are on recess this week because, they need their 7 months of recess during the year in order to keep themselves from getting burned out from all their hard work. However, the Budget Committee is still quietly putting together the final touches on the reconciliation package, which they hope will be ready for the House to vote on when they return to Washington next week. So, once the House returns to Washington next week, it's expected they'll vote on and pass a bill, which will then send it off to the Senate. This bill, at the moment, includes things such as the $1,400 direct payments to single individuals earning up to $75,000 per year, head of households earning up to $112,500, and married couples earning up to $150,000. Additionally, unemployment benefits will be extended in this package through the end of August at $400 per week. And finally, another big benefit, as mentioned in prior videos, is the increased child tax credit, which would give parents with children under the age of 6 an extra $300 per month, and parents with kids between the ages of 6 and 17 an extra $250 per month. So not only will the amount of the child tax credit be increasing, but people will also be receiving it on a monthly basis starting in July, rather than having to wait until next year to receive it as a tax refund. Now, before the bill passes in the House, they hope to have most of the final details ironed out, while at the same time making sure the House and Senate Democrats are on the same page. One notable difference between progressive and moderate Democrats has to do with their thought process on the increase in federal minimum wage up to $15 per hour. While Bernie Sanders believes they need to take advantage of the reconciliation process to push their minimum wage agenda through, other moderate Democrats such as Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin believe that measure has nothing to do with the virus and therefore should not be in this package. Also, it's quite possible that this measure won't be able to make it in the Senate bill anyways due to the Byrd rule, so really if they want to speed up the process here, they would be much better off just removing it from the bill in the House. This is because if they change anything about the bill in the Senate from the bill that passes in the House, it'll then have to be sent back to the House for a final approval. So, for example, if they pass a bill in the House that includes an increase in the federal minimum wage up to $15 per hour, and that measure is stripped in the Senate, then they'll have to waste even more time by sending it back to the House once again for a final vote. If you remove the measure, it definitely won't please the progressive Democrats such as Bernie Sanders and AOC, but it's highly doubtful they would then reject the bill because of its removal. So again, that's the key thing we'll be keeping an eye out on over the next couple weeks, whether or not the measure to increase the minimum wage up to $15 per hour will stay or not. If they are able to get this bill passed by their March 7th deadline, again, as far as the expected timeline goes, I would expect everyone to receive the next direct payment of $1,400 at some point in the middle of March. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm going to move right along to answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you do have any other comments or questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to answer as many of the comments and questions as I possibly can. Both of those comments and questions I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the first comment of this video, which is from Mike. Mike says, if we get the child tax credit during the year, will we still get our tax refund next year? Okay, thank you so much for your question, and yes, even if you do get the child tax credit during the year, you could still be eligible for a tax refund at the end of the year. That will completely depend on how much is withheld from each paycheck you receive. So if more money is being withheld from each paycheck, you'll more than likely receive a refund. Of course, on the other hand, if less money is being withheld from each paycheck you receive, you could actually end up owing. Since you'll no longer have the end of the year child tax credit, there will be less money you receive at tax season, sure, but it will be much better to receive all that money throughout the year. Okay, moving right along to the next comment video, which is from Trisha. Trisha says, hi Josh, any update on if they are giving payments for adult dependents? Okay, thank you so much for your question, Trisha, and yes, adult dependents should end up receiving $1,400 in the next round of direct payments. At this point, it's pretty much a sure thing to happen. However, the only thing we don't know is whether or not that money will be sent directly to the adult dependent or the person who claims them. On this, I'll definitely make sure to keep you updated. Also, it's a little disappointing that they'll only be receiving $1,400 instead of the $2,000 they would have received if the Cash Act had passed, but still, $1,400 is certainly better than nothing at all. Okay, moving along to the next comment video, which is from Jackie. Jackie says, what about the evictions right now? Can they evict you? Okay, thank you so much for your question, Jackie. And recently, President Biden signed an executive order directing the CDC to extend the nationwide ban on evictions through March of this year. Also, if the upcoming reconciliation package passes, the eviction moratorium would then be extended even longer through the end of September. Okay, moving along to the next comment video, which is from Richard. Richard says, I filed my taxes already. Do you think it's possible to receive my stimulus check with my income tax if the stimulus does go through? It seems like both are coming around the same time. Please help. Okay, thank you so much for your question, Richard, and more than likely, you'll end up receiving the third direct payment in a different transaction than your tax refund. Now, I'm not sure which one you'll end up receiving first, but you are correct that they should end up coming in at around the same time. However, the IRS will not be adding the $1,400 to whatever you're supposed to receive as part of your tax refund. Instead, they'll send it separately. Now, if you never receive the second direct payment of $600 and you claim that amount on your tax returns as a credit, then in that case, you would receive it with your refund. More than likely, as mentioned in this video, you'll end up receiving the third direct payment at some point around the middle of March. At this point, it's being estimated that those who filed early should receive their tax refund by early March, so it seems like you may end up receiving your tax refund a little bit earlier than your next stimulus check. Okay, moving along to the next comment video, which is from D. D says, Josh, my mother received Social Security and she never received the $600 check. She did receive the first one in the mail, so how would I go about this in order for her to get her money? Okay, thank you so much for your question, D. And first off, I'm terribly sorry that your mother still hasn't received her second direct payment. In this case, considering that your mother received her first stimulus check in the mail, I would have also expected for this one to have been sent to her as a check in the mail as well. However, considering most checks were being sent on January 6th and it's now the middle of February without her receiving anything, more than likely it's either taking an extremely long amount of time to arrive or it just ended up getting lost. So what I would recommend for you or her first doing is to check the payment portal, which can be located on the IRS website. The payment portal should let you both know how her payment was sent and on what date. If you see that her payment status is either not available or that her check was sent on January 6th, then I'd recommend that she goes ahead and claims these $600 as a credit on the tax returns that she files this year. This way, even though she won't receive the payment as normal via a check, she'll at least receive it through a tax refund. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so, and it's a great support to me. Also, if you'd like to receive 4 free stocks from Webull, with 2 of them valued all the way up to $1,600 each, or 1 free stock from Robinhood, just for signing up and linking your bank account, please feel free to claim those free stocks by clicking the link in the description box below. And finally, if you join Rakuten with my referral link in the description box below and spend at least $20, Rakuten will give you $20 cash back. This means that you can buy an item through Rakuten with one of their referral links, such as Macy's, for $20, which would be right around $22 after tax, and Rakuten will give you $20 just for making that purchase. This is just an incredible deal that I would love for everyone to take advantage of. Okay, so until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.